Hello.
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 Hi, is this David?
This is.
Hi, David. This is Bill.
Hi, Bill.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. Tired. This week at my work is really nuts.
Oh, that's not good. I'm not such busy. Busy can be good, but can be bad. So it's kind of
Busy. Yeah, just busy. I mean, the airport is super crazy, and people crazy with Christmas shopping and all that stuff. So I'll be glad, but at the end of the week.
Oh, for sure.
Hello, is anybody there?
Hello.
Yep.
How do I get this on speaker now?
Push the speaker button.
I just got there. Start with me. Are we the only two on here?
No, I'm here.
Okay.
Bill's here.
Casey here?
Not yet.
So Ronnie, did you have fun decorating your new house for Christmas?
I had a fabulous time. Did you see some of the pictures?
Hi.
I did see some of the pictures.
I'll send you some more privately because I know you like Christmas as much as I do.
Yeah, I'd love to see it.
And I had I'll do some panoramas. I had a great time doing it. It looks fabulous.
Good. I would really enjoy that.
David thinks it's a bunch of junk, but whatever.
Watch out, David. He'll come over there and do your house.
Oh, no. We got our tree up already, so.
Oh, that's good.
And it'll probably come down the day after Christmas.
It might.
Oh, God. No, you got to leave it up through New Year's.
Oh, I leave it up until... It's so much work. We have 5 trees. I leave it up until the end of January.
Yeah, that's acceptable.
It is acceptable.
If it's up by St. Patrick's Day, then that's not good.
No, that would be an issue. But here with all the sunshine streaming in through the windows on the ornaments, it's just too pretty to take down.
Yeah.
Then there's the rain up there.
Yeah. We have to put fake lights on shining on our trees and stuff.
Cool. Well, send me
no
some
sunshine.
pictures. Did you decorate the whole new edition?
Yeah, we kept it pretty simple this year though because we're still kind of figuring out the space and stuff. So next year I'll probably switch some stuff up. So.
Well, what are you predominantly using that for? Family?
It's a family dining area. There's a dining nook on one wall, and then the main part of it is like bookcases and an entertainment center and a couch and chair and that type of stuff. It's like a family room.
How was Sierra's memorial service yesterday?
I didn't get to go because I worked late, so I missed it.
I went. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. It made me cry my eyes out.
She was a special person.
Yeah, it was really nice. There was a lot of nice speeches given, and I think Patty said it best when nobody made her out to be a saint because she certainly wasn't, and that was kind of kept it real, and it was really nice.
Yeah.
I'm sorry for your loss of a friend, Casey.
I mean, that's not all right, but thank you.
Sometimes the friends that are left behind get forgotten about.
Yeah. I don't feel forgotten about, though. I've got lots of support. I feel good.
How did Darcel do?
Darcel was okay. He didn't say very much at all, really.
Okay.
Yeah, he was okay.
Okay. I just worry about him. You know how I am.
I know. All right, are we all here? Sounds like we are.
Who's missing? I think we got everybody here.
I'm here, Dan's here, David's here, Marlene's here, Bill's here, and Casey's here. Unless there's somebody
everybody.
we don't know about.
All right. So should we start with the re-upping membership, whatever piece?
Okay.
I forgot how we said we were going to do that.
I think we were going to either self-nominate or let others nominate.
Okay, well, let's start there then.
So, first of all, are there any open positions? Is there anything that's open, or is there everything filled at this point?
Well, technically, we can have up to 11 board members.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we could have another 5. So we do have 5 openings.
Yeah. I was talking about like officers.
Oh, that's determined by today, actually. If you want to be an officer, we can nominate you for whichever officer you're interested in, and if someone else nominates, then we'll vote between the 2 of you.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, I wasn't going in that direction. I was just curious if I couldn't remember with people leaving and people moving and Vanessa going, and I didn't know how everything shook out as far as like who is everybody now? Casey's president, right?
And Ronnie's vice
president. Casey's, and then Marlene is secretary, and I'm the treasurer.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay. Cool.
And I would like to keep my current position.
I was just going to say, and unless anybody has any qualms or quarrels, we can just keep the stuff the same way it is now, unless somebody doesn't want that position.
Yes, I do not have a problem with the way it is now.
Okay. How about you, Marlene? Are you interested in remaining secretary?
I suppose I'll have to. That's just going to need to do it. Yeah.
Well, if you don't want to do it and Bill wants to do it, I mean, that's fine too.
Does he want to do it?
It would be something I would be interested in the future, but not right now. I can't do it. I can't pick it on right now, but it would be something I would consider in the future.
Okay.
Well, you're a board member anyhow. You're just not an officer, so
exactly.
And when it all boils down, you have as much say as the rest of us do.
Yeah.
You and Dan both are at-large members, so you have just as much to do with everything as the rest of us.
All right. Does Dan want to remain an at-large member?
Yes, he wants to. Dan.
Yes, I want to remain at large.
All right, so all in favor, basically, of everybody saying the same?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? All right, we'll stay the same. Did we have any applicants on the website? I'm guessing not, huh? Since we didn't get any.
No, because the way it's set up is that all the board members will automatically get a copy of the application in their email.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. All right. Well, we'll keep. I don't know what's holding them up. They both seem to really want to do it, but I guess their hesitation and their delay might indicate that they might not be the best for our board anyway.
And who is that?
Crystal Decanter from Salem and Diva Disaster from Ashland, or Eugene, which however you look at it. She's Princess of Eugene, but she lives in Ashland.
Okay. Casey, as I was saying to you last night, I'd spoken to Madame Dumore, and she said she was interested. The only trouble she had was that at the times we're having our meetings now, she's at work. She doesn't finish work till 8, and if there was any way we could work around her, she'd be interested in joining.
Is that true for every day of the week?
Yeah, she works Monday through Friday.
Oh.
I mean, does anybody have an issue with it being moved to 8 o'clock instead of 6 o'clock?
Or is that too late for some people, or is that going to be...
For me. I don't know about anybody else, but that's too late for me.
Or like we did with Peacock, doing it on Sunday mid-afternoon.
You still there?
Yeah.
Those are all options as well. To
Yeah.
change the date to the weekend instead of on a weekday. And then she could attend it.
I can't do Sunday during the day because I work on Sundays.
And honestly, I really don't want a weekend obligation. There's already so many of them, and squeezing things together gets so difficult.
Yeah.
I understand that.
This works well because nothing happens on the third Monday of the month.
That is true, yes. Well, we can keep it then. We just keep it the way it is for now. And
yeah, okay. I'm just passing the message on.
Yeah. No, and then we can talk with her, Marlene. You and I both can as we see her, and just let her know we're interested. At the time, if the time doesn't work for her right now, then we can readdress it later. But we are still interested. Let's not discourage her.
No.
Well,
okay, and I think she'd be good. Mm-hmm.
And can she be, couldn't she at this point be a member at large and not necessarily have to sit in on the meetings, but one of the two of you can give her the recording or the minutes of this meeting every month? Because if she's interested, I don't really want to lose her because she's an asset.
According to our bylaws, Ronnie, we can't do that.
Okay,
She has to meet the same meeting attendance as everyone else.
Okay.
She could, however, be sort of a committee member and not a board member, meaning that we're going to call on her when we get ready to do a function as a committee member. That she could do.
Well, I think that's a good idea.
I'll pitch that to her.
Okay. We'll see how she feels about that.
Okay, right.
Yeah, that's good. If we could get some. Yeah, we could have her like as an advisory member, and then there's no requirements for that.
Yeah, that would be the way. Oh, can I be that?
No.
No. Nice try, though, honey.
Okay, so I don't have any other new business for us to discuss at this point. Does anyone else? Oh, I did want to say, and maybe you're going to cover it, David, in the financial report about the deposits this month.
No, go ahead.
We got one from Blackout Leather Productions from their casino night, which was just shy of $500, 400 something, and then we got the $500 corporate match from my company that we got last year as well. So we had just shy of $1,000 deposited this month, moving us up nicely as usual. So it feels great.
So what is the total now?
Give me just a minute. I will get you the total.
And we're getting quite a few hits on our site.
When you say quite a few, what does that mean? Like hundreds or tens or?
Well, not hundreds, but I see at least once a day, one comes up, which is a lot better than what we were doing 6 months ago.
Yeah, our name is being mentioned a lot more often. That's for sure, especially in locally.
Well, that's a good thing.
Well, that's almost entirely thanks to the Bears and the Leather Group. I mean, they've done more for us than anybody.
Which I think is really great because in the past they've been kind of ostracized from doing anything else in the community with the court, not with the court, but in the community at large. And I like to see that we're all working together.
I do too. Yeah, that's really important to me. The current checking account balance is $30,560.36.
And how many cents?
36.
Okay.
I think it might be nice for us as a board to send a thank you note to both the leather community and the bear community for stepping up and doing these two fundraisers for us.
Already done.
Okay.
I automatically do a thank you card, a handwritten thank you card back to anybody who we receive a check from.
Okay, great.
I also sent one to Jim Flug for his. He does that award every year at Coronation where he picks somebody and then gives $100 in their name.
Right.
We got that one the previous month, so I sent him a card as well.
Good. It's just a nice way to let them know that we, whoever in the community, we really appreciate anything and everything.
Yeah. I did get approached by the, can't think of his name right now, but he's the new director of the Portland Gay Men's Chorus.
Yes.
And he kind of approached me with I don't know, like all new directors do, with, I hope we can work together. I asked him what he thought that might look like, and he had no idea. But he said he was dedicated to finding a way for us to work together, and he was going to get back in touch with me. So I guess to be determined on that one.
Yeah, well, I think with that one, it would be like a situation of, if they don't want to dive right in and do something like as a joint event or something like that, that may be something in our future. But maybe in the near future, at one of their concerts, we could have a table in the lobby of wherever they're at.
I'd do it. No problem.
Well, yeah. I was going to say that, or I was going to, say that, plus maybe they give us part of the door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or the other thing is we need to do a fundraiser in January or early February. It wouldn't be a bad idea we don't need to get the whole choir. I have had interest from individuals. I'm sure even if we got 10 or 12 of them to do a couple of numbers in addition to some other aspects of a show for our second fundraiser, I don't think that's a hard sell.
Mhm.
I have also been actually I met one of the people that is on the board of the Names Project, which is the people that oversee the AIDS quilt.
Right.
And he has informed me that when we decide to do a event, and if we let him know in a timely manner, there is a very good possibility he could get us a number of quilts to display at our event.
Oh, okay.
I think that's something really good to pursue, because I've had people ask me, what happened to the quilt? Where can I see it? Where is it at? What, and I said, well, it's in various degrees of display, and it's here and it's there, and they were going, well, is it coming back to Portland, and are we gonna be able to see it? It would be amazing. There's some kids in the community that have never even seen it. They've just heard about it. So I think that is something excellent to put on the table to think about in the future.
David, how many panels did you say he said come in on a regular basis?
They get between 2 and 3 a day mailed into them. That's a lot of panels.
It is.
Well, as you all saw on World AIDS Day on Facebook, they showed how many members of the chorus have passed, over 140 since the inception of the chorus and HIV/AIDS.
Did you watch that video?
Yeah.
They had a video. Oh my God.
Very hard.
That was something else.
But what I'm thinking is if we could get some panels of the quilt and reach out to members of the chorus that would like to sing at that, I think that right there would be a great fundraiser.
I hate to rain on your parade.
I agree.
I hate to rain on everybody's parade, but when Ronnie and I were up looking at the quilt and we were talking to Vanessa, if I remember correctly, she said there's so many stipulations of how you have to hang them. your lighting. They had to change all the light bulbs and everything in that room.
We also forget she was a liar.
Well, that's true too, but I think that could be a good possibility we need to check about.
That's easy enough to do.
He will give us all that information. He has all of that.
Yeah, I know in Portland I've seen it. This was, there hasn't been a big formal display of it in a while, but I've been to it several times when it has come through Portland, and it's been in, a gymnasium. It's been in a cafeteria of a Catholic school. I've seen it a number of different places, and there may be some protocol as to how it's laid out and how it's handled and displayed, but I've seen it in places where there definitely wasn't museum lighting, or it was definitely it was done respectfully, but it didn't look like it was anything that would be too hard to, it didn't look like it was anything that would be crazy to have to put together, So,
right.
but I haven't read the protocol rules on how it has to happen though either. So,
but I can't remember it being under any kind of special lighting when it was at the funeral home.
At the funeral home, it was under special lighting.
It was?
And there wasn't a large turnout because at the time there was not a lot of information out about it being there.
Yeah.
Compared to when it was downtown a couple of times, 15, 20 years ago, where it was around the block to see it. That turnout wasn't that great. And I'm sure that some of the older members of the chorus would jump on participating with this, with us, and with the Names Project.
All right.
And I think if we could get somebody from the Names Project that could talk and give like a 10-minute, these are how many panels we get in. This is what we're thinking of trying to do to display it. I know I've heard that they would like it to go in the LGBTQ museum on the mall in Washington, if that's ever built.
Yeah.
I just had a conversation with a friend down here the other night who just stepped off the board of HRC for Southern California. And HRC literally, in terms of raising money now for marriage equality, gay rights, and all of that, they are looking back at putting AIDS out forefront because it is a rising statistic again. So maybe we could reach out to some of the HRC in Portland.
Okay.
David, can you your contact that you have with the Names Project, can you get the information or the criteria or what it takes to set that what the rules are and regulations and lighting and display and all that? Can you get that information?
Yeah.
Okay. That would be great. Because then because once we know how we would have to handle it, then we would know, number one, if it's something we want to deal with, and then number two, we would have to look in an appropriate place to do it at, too. So, but first and foremost, we should see what's involved with it, and then from there move forward. And I think I'm liking the idea of displaying it, having an event, having some entertainment, having a speaker explain what it's all about, and I kind of am digging that whole aspect of it because there hasn't been anything in town here recently that resembles that in any way. So, and then attaching our name to it, I think would be great. I'm 2 thumbs up on the whole thing. But first things first, I think we need to figure out what is involved with getting it here and then what we do with it when it's here.
Yeah. I can get all that information.
I would appreciate that. That would be great.
What happened to Bob? Who was the past director of the chorus? Bob Menzel. Did he step down?
Yes.
And he's not involved at all?
I don't know.
Okay. Well, I would be willing, once we get the information, to reach out to the new guy and also reach out to, and I know you know him, Casey, Steve Fulmer.
Who?
Steve Fulmer. He's one of the few remaining original choir members.
I don't think I do know him.
Okay. I would be willing, once David gets the information, to reach out to and we kind of have an idea that I can take to them, to reaching out to the chorus. And I think in doing this too, another person that I think could be very helpful, who has been involved, for God knows how many years at Cascade 8, is Andrew Shade.
Yeah, that's true.
With a lot of the information.
Andrew Shea tends to not be very helpful unless it benefits Cap.
Well,
But
this is what I've
try.
learned over the years. This is what I've learned over the years. It doesn't hurt to ask.
True.
Because sometimes when people say no, eventually they may say yes.
They might. Yeah, you're right.
So I'm looking up I've got the Gaiman's Chorus website up down. I'm looking under their administrative page. Are we talking about the executive director?
Yes.
Richard Juno.
Yeah, Richard.
Or no, Richard, I don't have my glasses on. Richard Jung. Jung.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know him,
Yeah.
and two of the other board members, Richard Voss and Donald Falk, are realtors that I didn't use to sell our Portland house. So they're not very happy with me.
Did you say something? Did somebody say something, Ronnie? Bob Menzel? Is that it?
Well, Bob Menzel was the artistic director.
He is still the artistic director.
Then I don't have a problem doing this, reaching out to Bob.
Yes, he is the current artistic director. Richard Jung is the executive director of the whole shebang. So.
Okay, I would deal with Menzel.
Okay. Well, that's
still
current.
I want to have something to take to them, kind of semi-concrete, beforehand.
Yeah. Well, I think probably what needs to happen first is we need to figure out this whole thing is kind of a two-part thing. There's the entertainment presentation aspect of it, and then there's the quilt display aspect of it. So I think we first need to figure out the direction what it takes to get it here, the actual panels here, and what's involved with that. And then once that's kind of nailed down, move on with piecing the entertainment part, or the program part of it to it.
Well, and one of the program parts I would like to recommend, is it Courtney or Alexis that has it's Courtney that has a gorgeous voice, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would love to hear Courtney perform.
Mm.
Yeah, well, I think that there would be plenty of, if we would have a small ensemble from the Gaiman's Chorus, and then maybe a few select, performers here and there would be fine. And then a speaker that could sort of, in a nutshell, give the history of the panels and, what's happening.
And what are today's statistics, and where are we at with this? As I've said this over and over again, once we lost Elizabeth Taylor, we lost our number one spokesperson, and she was the one that kept it on the front page of the news all the time.
That's true.
Anybody have any other ideas?
No, I think this whole deal is a great idea, the whole thing. But yeah, I think the first step is to figure out what it takes to physically get all of that stuff here and what it takes to get it on display, and then we can figure out where to go from there, and then we can build the entertainment part of it into it.
Okay.
Yeah,
It'd be a great time to hand out. It'd be a great time to hand out our wrist bracelets.
Oh yeah, we could do all kinds of stuff like that.
Absolutely.
I mean,
So
all this stuff's going to take several months or more to do. We were talking about doing something in January and February as well. So what are people's ideas on that?
Well, let's go around the group. Marlene, what's your idea?
I think something sort of small. I just something to sort of like basically that we are still here and we're. I don't know. Maybe something like hobos or something like that. Does anyone think that's a good idea?
Well, we had talked about doing a cocktail party at Hobos.
Yeah.
Cocktail and hors d'oeuvres. See if there's somebody, see if Harriet, you never know unless you ask her, if she would be willing to comp or give a very good price on a drink special, and see if she would do some appetizers and, pass buckets around while people are there mingling and whatever and collect money. That's one way to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it could also be kind of a thank you party, too. And you could invite some community members from different groups to be there, Yeah,
that sounds like a good idea.
Send out some actual, real invitations to, the board of directors of the Bears, the Leather Organization, the court, whoever else is kind of Red Ribbon Show, whoever we've networked with in the last couple of years. And maybe get those chunk of people invited, and then the rest of the crowd would be just people you would just, solicit, the public to be there or whatever. So.
Well, I think it's great to thank those people and everything, as long as it doesn't cost a lot out of our bank account.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. You don't want to blow a bunch of money on something,
No, definitely not.
But even if it's something that's not, it doesn't have to be something super elaborate, but just something nice and a nice gathering. At least you've advertised that you've had something, and that people you get given the opportunity for people to attend something. It's so weird with events now, because you can do an amazing job of organizing something, and you don't know up to the time that people are coming in the door if you're going to have a full house or there's just going to be half a dozen people there. It's so hard in Portland now trying to figure out if people are going to attend an event. So I think, we should plan something nice, something casual, and then just kind of see what happens. But at least it will go down in the history books that we did something in the next couple of months, on a public scale.
True.
Who would be the person to go and talk to hobos?
Yeah.
Uncle Dave.
So should I go and see Uncle Dave?
Yeah, why don't you go see him and just say, here's what we're thinking about, and then see what his response back is.
I will do that.
Do you want to do that, or I'm a fairly good friend with Dave? Do you want me to?
Well, I get on really well with Uncle Dave, and he seems to be sort of like trying to be sort of very sort of positive with me at the moment. So I'll do it. I feel I need to do something. Okay.
Go talk to Uncle Dave and see what he says. Another thing we could do, which would be very inexpensive, is we could have some little envelopes made for donations and hand them out and ask to collect them at the end of the evening, and those people that didn't can send them back in if they want to. Now, if out of that we get $50, it's $50 more than we would have had.
Yeah. What kind of entertainment could we think of doing at something like this?
Well,
something very low key.
Well, Hobos has a piano, and I think a wonderful cocktail appetizer time would be to have somebody on the piano.
Yeah. Well, I'll go and talk to Uncle Dave, and I'll do that in the next week at the latest, okay? And I'll get back to everybody and let you know what was said.
Okay. That sounds good. Yeah, because on that one we can just feel them out to see how they feel about it, and
well, I'm just hoping at Christmas they might be feeling very sort of positive.
yeah.
Get them at a good time, you know.
Exactly.
And no, I promise I'll get that done.
That sounds good.
And I'll also have a word with Madame Dumore as well.
Yes.
Yeah, because we want to hang on to her because she's a gem.
Oh, no, absolutely.
The other one that has shown some interest, and I don't know whether anybody has talked to her lately, is, oh Christ, I'm brain dead. Her show's on Sunday nights at CC's. Bolivia has expressed interest in the past.
Yeah,
I'll have a word with her.
I talk to her all the time, and I've asked her numerous times, and she's not interested right now.
Okay.
And for some other reasons, we don't want her right now.
Okay. Whatever.
She needs to get herself together first before she helps anybody else.
Okay. I know I can turn to you when there's issues that are being resolved.
She's a good person. She'll get it together.
Okay, I didn't know she was having problems. That's too bad. Somebody you might ask, and I think he plays the piano, is Honeybee.
I have no idea whether he.
I know he sings, but I don't know if he could be his own accompanist.
Well, let's find out.
Yeah.
I'll take that one. I'll find out.
Okay. You're on.
I chat with him fairly often.
Because that's another person that is genuine and believes in what we're doing and blah, all of that. Not just somebody that's out to see what publicity they can get for themselves.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm out of ideas.
As well, not to do with that, but I am working on the interactive part of the website for the interactive memorial. And it'll be on the website. They'll just click on that page, and then either an icon of the person, a picture of their quilt panel, a picture of them, something that would signify them would be on that main page in like a collage type of setup. And then somebody could click on that person or that icon, and it would pull up a story of that person or their history.
I think that's a great idea.
And to start with, I was experimenting with the photo of Dora Jar's quilt panel and a story and history that Alan McGuire provided us.
So how is that going to work? Are people going to send that information in to like an administrator, or can they do it? Do they do it themselves, or?
No, they'd have to submit it through an email address.
Oh, okay.
And then it would go to us.
Yeah.
And then we would format the picture that they provided of whatever to fit the area we needed in, and then add their history and story to it.
Yeah, that's amazing, and that's wonderful. That the thing I'm fearful about is if there reaches a point where we're advertising this within the community or with groups, 'cause there's like a whole bunch of people in the bear community and the leather community that, I know for sure that, they're club members and whatever that have passed, but they still have friends and loved ones and family, involved and everything. And same way with the drag and the court and everything. You have the potential, especially if it was advertised, of getting a lot of those things like memorials, and it might be overwhelming. Have you thought about that at all?
Yeah, and that's true. It could be, and that's why it would only be updated maybe every 3 months.
Oh, okay. That's
what do you think?
like,
Sorry, my question
like,
is. Go ahead.
No, David. It sounds like that you've thought of that and realized that there would be the potential of that if it really catching on. So that's good. That's good.
So my question is, it's funny that of all the people that to start with, as an example, Dora Jar, with a history submitted by Alan McGuire, whose history is going to be 110% different than that if it were submitted by Champagne, or how.
Oh yes.
And we've dealt with this in the court with the people submitting histories and stuff like that, and nobody ever agrees on what needs to be written. So what do we do if Alan submits Dora Jars and you post it, and then all of Dora's friends are in an uproar saying that this is not true depiction of Dora? Do we? Then
we can have them submit their versions.
And post them both?
And we can add all the versions together to where this is this person's version, this is that person's. And that way everybody has a chance to fill in their...
Really didn't like it, right?
So a certain individual might have, a dozen memories, a dozen statements from various people. Is that what you're saying?
And they could have, and it would, and then when they clicked on that person, it would just come up with a list of each one of them, and that person would then be able to click on that particular one that they wanted to read, and that's all they would see.
Yeah,
they wouldn't see everybody else's.
It's the same as with Tierra's memorial last night at Darcel's. I guarantee you, everybody sitting in that room had a different memory, a different story, a different, nobody would ever agree on everything, but there's enough of us, Casey, you and I, whom I'm talking about, that we have known almost all these people.
Yeah, right. No, I mean, sometimes it's more just for the sake of kind of being bitchy, if you know what I mean.
No, I know. Well, this isn't here's the deal. It isn't about the people that are going to give us the information on a particular person. It's what we take from a number of people who talk to us, and that's what we put as the memory from the AIDS memorial. And it's about the person. It's not about the person, friend, family, or whatever.
Right. As long as the memories are submitted, this is Alan McGuire's memory, then I'm fine with that. Yeah. I don't want us as an organization to say, here's the history of Dora Jar and have it be debatable.
No.
Right.
It's like
and
it
at
would
the
be
bottom at the bottom of it specifies that this is done history and story provided by Alan McGuire.
Okay.
So
it'd be like if I gave a history of David Hamilton, or I gave a history of Ursula, or I gave a history of Woody, all of whom were good friends. Those are my memories of who they are.
Right. You got it. Okay. Is there anything else we need to cover tonight, guys? Because I have to be out of this building in the next 10 minutes.
No, I think that's it.
All right, I'll call the meeting. I'll adjourn the meeting then, everybody. Thank you. Talk to y'all soon.
Have a really good Christmas, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Okay,
do. Holidays.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.